Hello everyone, welcome to the Lord of the Rings Online. Here's Gnarlo. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. We're standing in Michael Delving. We're here underneath the party tree, and we're doing the 2 Yule Quest dailies that are over here. One's from Samfast Longborough, the brewmaster, and Daisy Boffin, the party planner. Now we've already grabbed both of them, so I'll pull up the quest thing here right quick, and we'll show you the history. This right here is the one you get from Samfast, and he says, "Every Yule I make a special blend of my cider, a mix of cinnamon, sugar, and a few other spices I'm not inclined to share with any old stranger. It has become a tradition within my family that we share a toast to this cider to remember the year that was and to look forward to the year that will be. Unfortunately, I fear my family may be disappointed this year. I have run out of apples to press for the cider. I had so much other planning to do, it simply slipped my mind. I don't suppose you'd be willing to fetch me some apples. I don't need many. You can find them to the west at Appledoor's orchard." So that's what we get right there. And over here with Daisy, we talk to her, and she tells us, "This year's Yule Festival is going to be a disaster. We have the gifts, the boxes to put them in, the paper to wrap the boxes, but I've run out of ribbons. You cannot have a Yule Festival without ribbons for the gifts. This is a calamity. I thought we had plenty of ribbon, at least as much as last year. I was wrong. We used it all up within the first 3 days. I ordered more yards from Overhill, but it hasn't showed up yet. Even if it had, it would all be white, and that just won't do. If you would be so kind to help, follow the road toward Overhill and see if you can find the boxes of ribbon. While you're out there, if you could pick some red berries and blue flowers to dye the ribbon, perhaps we could have a Yule to remember." So, that's her situation. We're going to run up the hill here first and grab the apples. They're the closest and easiest to do. They're just up the hill to the west, up here in Appledoor's orchard. And there is a deed called the Farms of the Shire. And this is one of the farms that you have to go to. I think we've hit 2 of them, maybe 3 so far. Ones you have to find is Appledore here. You have to find Farmer Maggot's farm. And we were able to gather that one when we were doing our burglar quest the other day. So that's 2 of them. I think there's 5 farms that you have to go to. One of them may be the Delving Fields. I think there's one over there, so we may have credit for that as well. But we're going to grab the 5 apples here, and they're just laying on the ground. There's a quest nearby that Farmer Maggot gives you as well. Not Farmer Maggot. Gaffer Gamgee. He gives you a quest to come and collect some apples as well, so we might grab that. But we're definitely knock out these 2 Yule ones first. Alright, so we got that. While I'm standing here, let me pull up that deed right quick. We need to go to the area door. Let's go to Shire. Where is the Shire? That one. Yeah, Farms of the Shire. Okay, we found 4 of them so far. We found Dora Brownlock. Her farm is over at Waymeet. She was the one with the wolves. Remember, we were saving her chickens. So we found her farm. Bam Furlong, that's the one with Farmer Maggot. We came across it while we were doing the quest. Appledore, here's Farmer Appledore. And Puttyfoot's Fields. Remember when we were over there killing I think actually we were in his fields for the wolves was the problem we had there. Alright, so we got to find Old Odo's Leaf Farm and the South Field. So once we get those 2, we'll have that quest out of the way, and we'll have Tolerance. Okay, and we got one more site of the Shire we have to find. Which one is it? The Bridgefields Wall. We found all the rest of them, so we can complete that one here shortly as well. Alright, I'm going to run over. The next section of this is going to be on the other side of the party field. We're going to go out here and go over here to the road. on the way to Overhill and see if the boxes of ribbon have been scattered along the road. So it won't be very far. It's just up the hill a little ways. And we'll collect the flowers and everything while we're at it as well. I'm going to turn on my track wood. I don't think I'll have to be tracking any out here because most of this will be rowan. We're still in a lower level area. We'd have to get over there in the green fields to get to the ash wood. Alright, here's one of the boxes that's been scattered. A box of ribbons. So we need to collect 5 of these. And you should find them scattered all the way down the road here. I'm not really sure if the quest ever says why the boxes of ribbons are scattered along the road or not. So that was the bestowal dialogue that she gives you. Perhaps if you pull it up and read more detail, it'll tell you what's going on and why they all seem to have fallen off the cart. Alright, now we'll come up here and we start grabbing red berries and blue flowers. And the one thing about this part of the woods here is that there are a good number of bears and spiders scattered about. So you either have to fight them or you have to kind of work your way around them while you're collecting the materials. And you have to collect 5 of each. Okay. Let's see. Oh, see, there's a spider off there. There's more bears. Got a feeling we're not going to do it without ending up fighting something. But we'll see how it goes. First flowers we found. Yeah. And see, even with this, it's still just rowan branches. Okay, got any more flowers? Any more berries? They're kind of scattered all throughout the trees here on this side of the hill. There we go. Yeah, it looks like the one we're going to end up fighting is the boar over here. Because it's going to get aggroed on us, I'm afraid. Nope. Managed to avoid it. Alright, we got to get 2 more blue flowers. And then we can head back and turn them in. Our last one. Okay. And there's a good number of them. They're scattered all throughout here. A little secret bush. Let's put a little secret flower over here. How about that? Happy little flowers. Happy little berries. Alright. Now it's back to the party field. We'll see you there when we turn them in. Alrighty. We're back here. Let me turn in these quests right quick. These apples would do perfectly. I and my family thank you, Gnarlo. This Yule will be as great as the last, and hopefully more so. Alright. And Daisy, let's give her the flowers and all. Come on, mouse. Ah, you found all the lost boxes of ribbons. Wonderful, wonderful. You even got the flowers and berries I need to dye them. This year's Yule will be the greatest in memory. There we go. 4 more easy Yule tokens to get. So that's the end of this area here at Michael Delving. I'm going to head over to the dwarf area next at Thorin's Gate. And we will chat at you when I get over there. Okay, we've arrived here in Thorin's Gate. Ahead of us is the stable master, just dropped us off here. Next to him is the festival stable master. I'll go ahead and grab while we're here. just in case we were to go to Winterhome from here. Alright, here we are at Thorin's Gate. Right over there is Freren's Court. Right up here is Thorin's Hall. We're going to go up that way. Of course, the great statue of Thorin, great carving of Thorin that they're working on right beside it. So we're going to head on up to Thorin's Hall. And the festival givers are where they are for every festival here at the dwarf area. They are down in the tavern in the basement of Thorin's Hall, the lower part down in the mines. But I'm going to show you a quick shortcut to get down there. Now, last time we went through the front door, ran through the great hall where Thorin's statue is and all. Right over here, there's a side entrance that leads to the festival area. And right through here, this, you heard me mention the beer brawl thing before. This is where it took place in Yule's in the past. You'd have the announcer right here. Down here in the hall is where the tables were. The tables is where the big trophy would appear. You'd have to run back and forth. People would be trying to grab the trophy. Other people would have the big mallets and be trying. Every time they hit you with a mallet, knock you high in the air, and they try to knock you out of this main floor area here. But like I said, as you can see, there's nothing going on in here today. You know, I'm hoping this was a very fun game, so I'm hoping that they do bring it back for some other holiday. Maybe one more appropriate, maybe for something like the Valentine's and St. Patty's Day. That might be a little bit more appropriate to have drunken dwarves knocking each other around with mallets. But they definitely have a very nice selection of brew, as you can see on all the walls here. Anyway, so we come in that door, and that drops us off here. And when it does, we're facing the hall. If you turn immediately around behind you, there's a door that takes you down to the inn down in the basement. And boom, here you are, without all that running around through the city and everything else. Right here's the cook and the planner. They're the ones that give you the quests.
Welcome. You've come at a most fortuitous time.
Good tidings to you, Gnarlo. The Yule season is my favorite time of the year, even though the frosty air can chill your bones to their very marrow. We dwarves enjoy a traditional dessert at this time of year. It may not make you feel any warmer, but is a treat among my folk nonetheless. Alas, I've eaten so much that I've always used up my supply of ingredients to make more. I need more shaved ice and berries from a particular bush. If you could gather them for me, I would be in your debt, Gnarlo. You can find both of these around the frozen lake just to the west of the gates of Thorin's Hall. The berry bushes should be on a small island in the center of the lake. The ice you can chip from a frozen waterfall at the northwest corner of the lake. And here's Glowy, the party planner.
Come and stay a moment, friend.
Good tidings to you, Gnarlo. It is a glorious Yule this year, but I feel a pang of distress. The dwarves are lucky enough to experience all the wonders of winter, seeing their breath in the morning, the way an ale thaws frozen fingers and toes, and of course the crisp white covering of good snow. I hear the weather in Bree is unseasonably fair this year, which is a terrible tragedy to the good folk of that land. While I have not the power to change the climate itself, perhaps I can help to bring them some measure of the spirit of the season. Just a bit more snow, and my cart will be full enough that some should last the voyage. Could you help me gather snow for my journey, Gnarlo? Not just any snow would do. It has to be very dry and hard-packed. You should find some in piles just west of Freren's Court. Return to me with as much as you can carry, and hopefully Bree will see some real Yule cheer. Now there's our two quests here. Surprised none of them involved ale, cider, any kind of booze, but then again, we're talking about dwarfs. They're not going to run out. So you come through the back, this time take one of either of the two side ones. It does not matter which. And that's going to take you right back outside into the courtyard. And there we go. So now, much easier than running through the city. much quicker. So we're going to head down now. Back down the front steps, and then we're going to go to the right. And just off here to the right is going to be the frozen pond. And in the middle are where the berry bushes are. You can already see them flashing there. Okay. Sitting out here in the snow with his flute, watching the deer. That's a very artistically inclined dwarf you see there. And here's the frozen waterfall. So we'll get up to it and click up here somewhere where you see the hand, and we'll grab some ice shavings. It can sometimes be a little difficult to chip ice off of that. So sometimes you have to aim for, once again, aim for the title. You can always see if you can click on the title. And that should allow you to get some. Now, right over here, just to the south of that, is where the snowfield is. Past the bridge. And you'll find piles of snow. And you have to collect 8 of these. Same thing again. Just run up to them and grab them. I think there are 3 on this side. Right over there is the entrance to the dwarven housing. I've shown y'all Bree, and I think I've seen the Hobbits. Over there's where the dwarf housing is. It's where I want my next house to be. I think some of the prettiest ones are over there. And of course, there are also some of the few that actually have snowy yards are over there as well. Alright, that's 4. The next 4 are in the center here. And then at the very top of the hill. And remember, this is the beginner area for the dwarves. So unless you're very, very low level, none of the creatures here should bother you. Now, a quick jump off the top of this. It shouldn't injure us too bad, and we can run back up to Thorin's Hall and turn it in, and that will be another 4 Yule tokens very quickly here. We said before, you can do all of these dailies every single day. In fact, they should have reset already. These are actually seem to be resetting at, and we'll see when we get inside, these actually seem to be resetting at 2 in the morning here instead of 3 in the morning. If I counted right from the one that we did in the Shire earlier. We'll take a look whenever we get to this one. And it'll tell us how long before we reset. Like I said, right here it is just before 3 a.m. And we're here in Georgia. Oops. And turn around, go back through the door your back is to. And turn them in.
Well met, friend.
This is good snow, Gnarlo, and just enough to fill the wagon. I will be sure to let the people of Bree know that you helped to bring them one of the most essential delights of the Yule season.
At your service, and
This
your family.
ice is shaved perfectly, Gnarlo, and the berries appear to be ripe. This is going to be a wonderful Yule. I can feel it. There you go. And let's see how long before you can complete them again. 2 minutes 23 seconds, so it is 3 o'clock. Since it is 2:57 here, so yep, I'll be able to do this one again in less than 3 minutes. Fantastic. So, as I said before, I was correct. I was just miscounting somehow. It's 3 a.m. Eastern Time, which would be -5 GMT. So, alright, so that shows you we've seen the Hobbiton, and I've shown you the Dwarves. The only thing left to see is the one for the Elves, and we will see that next time, and we'll also make our way back into Winterhome, and start examining the quests there. So I appreciate y'all hanging out. I've also got all the horses, so I'm going to show those off whenever we have the next episode as well. So thanks for watching. Hope y'all had a good one, and we will see you next time.